Ever wonder how other truck drivers structure their day? In today's video, we're going to be asking drivers for their tips and tricks on what they do to structure their day properly. Planning out your trip is one of the most important parts of a trucker's job. It allows you to maximize your profit, make your day less stressful, and deliver your load on time. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get started. Our drivers' tips and tricks on how they structure their day.
My day usually starts the night before. I have my dispatch in hand. I know when I need to start with my logbook. And I start planning how long it'll take me to get to my destination, the weather, things like that. Because our pickup and deliveries are done throughout the day, I gear my logbook for more daylight driving. It's safer, easier on the eyes in my opinion, less fatigue. Don't get me wrong, there's advantages to driving at night too. I guess it's up to you to pick your preference for sure.
The typical times to start around 3 o'clock, and if you start at 3, you run your 14 hours, you should be done about 5 o'clock.
Try to sleep at truck stop, because in the morning when you get up, you can have a shower, you can have your breakfast, and then I start my work at 6 or 7. It depends on my log, and I like to drive in daytime.
Depending on the loads, if those are hot loads or important loads that you have to get it there 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, depending who's the customer, then you drive. You do use some of you driving at night, but on average, most people do their driving during the daytime because your natural body wants to sleep at night. You start early in the morning. You keep in mind that you got to find a place to park, and lack of parking spaces, that means you got to get up early in the morning and start driving and do your 11 hours and try to find a parking spot around 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's when everyone parks, because they got to take their 10-hour break.
The biggest tip for structuring my day is being able to forecast upcoming issues. So traffic patterns, weather patterns, loading and unloading times, type of part of the city, whether it's kind of residential, commercial, industrial. So there's a lot of thoughts that go into my planning to allow myself enough breathing space so that I'm not rushed to get to the customer.
Two things you have electronic logs and you got miles, and you got to learn how to combine two of them and make money for yourself. A lot of guys, they have a hard time doing that, and I think really you got to learn how to balance it, and it's possible. You can make money with electronic logs. My first trip with this company was going to Georgia from Toronto, and then from Georgia I went to Alberta, and from Alberta I went to California. So basically, I've been doing this job for a long time. Most of my experience is in the U.S. So basically, you just have to learn, where you're going to stop. You have to learn where you're going to fuel, and you have to learn, what time you got to be there. So it's kind of like, basically it's like trip planning. You have to put everything together. And, for a lot of new guys, it's not easy because it's not like driving a car. So basically, you wake up in the morning, you got 14 hours, 11 hours to drive, 14 hours to work. So basically, you start your day, and you got to learn how to manage it. You can't stay at a truck stop for 2 or 3 hours. Make sure you stop, get your 30-minute break, get your, put fuel, and start rolling until you find a truck stop, park it, and then get your 8 or 10-hour break, and then continue the next day.
I try to take my break somewhere between a 4 and 5 hour part, within that half an hour mandatory break in the U.S. If you take it too soon, you just have to do a second one.
My schedule in the morning, I try to stop at truck stop so I can have my shower in the morning, and then I'll take my breakfast and then start my day, and after 3, 4, 5 hours, and then I'll take my half an hour break, and then do it another 6 hours, and then end up with 11 hours driving. I drive in the truck past 15 years now, and I'm still skinny. And I always take healthy food from home. I don't eat much from outside. And then when I eat, and then I always walk for a bit. When I even at a truck stop or rest area, I stop there, and then I eat, and then I walk for half an hour, and then I start my driving.
When I stop for my half an hour, sometimes, you know, I might throw a steak on a little barbecue. Other times, might just make a sandwich. It depends on the day or what I want to eat that day. I typically just eat when I get hungry, and then when I shut down for the day, I'll make myself a, you know, good meal, right? I try and cook out of the truck because it's a lot cheaper than going to sit down in the restaurants every day, when, you know, especially if you're out, you know, 5 to 10 days at a time, right?
You got to learn what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. And it's hard for a lot of drivers because basically, you know, it's like anything else, you know, whether it's smoking cigarettes or eating when you're not hungry, it becomes a habit. And I think a lot of people develop bad habits until you recognize that it is a bad habit, you're not going to change it. And I think that's what it's all about, is learning that, you know, if you don't watch what you're doing, you're going to develop some bad negative habits. Basically what I do is when I find a big truck stop, I usually park way at the end, and I try to walk, you know, at least walk like 10 minutes, you know, to the truck stop, and then walk 10 minutes back. A lot of guys, they do the opposite. They want to park right in the front of it, you know, the closest to the truck stop, because they don't want to walk that far. And I think that you have to kind of change your mentality to where, you know, if you know, you need to walk. And when you park at a truck stop, don't park next door. Just park it right, you know, way in the back of it, and just walk. Even if it rains, I walk in the rain. So that's what I do.
Well, there you have it. Hope you got a lot out of this content. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe to our channel. Till next time, Ronan.